Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roadology. In today's video, I have three news to y'all for y'all today. Three new news, right? So first, we're gonna get into the situation that the one of the developers for Bad Company 2 stated he doesn't know why he actually had, the ending of the campaign to potentially have a Bad Company 3. So he stated that, you know, in an alternate reality, we probably would have had Battlefield 3, and it's probably not likely to be coming out, and we probably shouldn't be advocating for Bad Company 3. And in my opinion, that is a pretty bad thing because I never really experienced Bad Company that much. I probably played it maybe when I was younger, and I just don't remember. But Bad Company isn't coming out, and Bad Company 3 isn't coming out, and it was basically it was
Oh,
warped
my
by
hand placement on my
BF3's
mouse. I
campaign.
was
Excuse me,
I
not
didn't break my
campaign,
phone.
but it was warped by Battlefield 3's multiplayer and as well as a transfer over to
Oh
BF4's
man,
multiplayer,
I hate
being, as he stated, one of the best
these pedos on me.
battlefields in the
Man, oops.
franchise,
I'm
and
sorry. I did
BF6
not mean
tried
to
to
say that.
emulate it like how it's doing
I did
right
not mean to
now.
say that. They over here
And
talking about each
the
other's
thing about that is,
like come on.
since everything about the
I
buyout, we
apologize.
can't
I
forget
apologize.
anything that EA did to try to make
Like,
Battlefield
look
6,
at this
right?
game,
The
bruh.
thing is, I don't know if not bringing Bad Company 3 into the
Are
mix
you
will make
kidding me?
enough
Game
money
is
for
trash. Like
Battlefield to
game
be
is bad.
desperate in the future and having to
It's
do what
always
we
been
got to
this
do
bad.
at the moment right now. And that's I don't know if it's like something we should look out for, but it's like what other battlefields can we make after this instead of going back to the World War and then whatnot? Like, in my opinion, I stated we should have like a hardline too, but again, Visceral closed down, and it might be very different if we do get a Battlefield Hardline 2. And it's like the thing is how Battlefield 6 is right now. We should be looking for the long term in Battlefield and what other battlefields will be coming after this battlefield, since this game is basically the last battlefield that can possibly, make anything, for the franchise, right? So the next topic is, when is season two going to release? So season two, we all know that the ending of season one is coming forward, and it's going to get like 3 or 2 weeks by the time of recording this, I guess. I haven't really been, interested in the, new battle pass. It wasn't really that interesting.
Uh,
So they said they said there was going to be dropping a lot of real fun content and everything, and they said they have a lot of in
oh
store for,
man.
the season two. So we have three drops for season two instead of
Like,
the
oh my
two,
gosh.
drops that we got in the first season, right? We only got two drops, which was two maps,
Slow,
Eastwood, and then we got
fast,
the other map, Blackwell Fields.
unsatisfying
And
to get kills and
yeah, that was the only two drops we had. So
non-dopamine.
we have some
It's
dates.
not a
It's
video
not
game.
really
It's
official,
like a
but we have
simulation
January
of
27th,
like
February 17th, and March
it's a
10th
simulation
for,
of kills.
season two content
Like
drop one,
seriously, like
two, and three
I
for,
don't get excited
the
playing that
dates
game.
going first to
Giggity.
third, right? So
It's just like
the
torture.
thing is,
It's a torture game.
we honestly really
Seriously.
need, this season to come out and actually be one of the best content drops in the world, for any Battlefield franchise. So we can't have any of that,
This
just
game is just
because we
torture.
got the milestone for, the best multiplayer game in the franchise. How about we get it every
Like
single
that
year
that should have
instead of
been
that one
like
year and
I'm sorry.
slack off, you know?
Continue, bro.
Because it's very easy to slack off on a game like this,
Swear.
because it's actually going on right
Whatever's
now. We
possible,
had
just whatever.
80,000 players concurrently, and probably by the end of this month, it's probably going to be 45 players concurrently, 45,000 players concurrently, right? And Yes, well, that's like 5 times better than 2042. It's also a
But
thing
I
like
realized it was
since we
supposed to
don't
be
even
last
got a
year.
server browser, and also I forgot to mention that it was 11 game modes that they stated that we haven't, seen yet. And we also already have 9 game modes in this game, which means that we have about 2 more game modes to be able to play, and it's going to be divided by 11 different groups of, of people who wants to play different game modes, right? Meaning that the start to
This
play
dude
matchmaking, in
peaks
which we need a
up
server
when I'm
browser,
already
I don't
looking
care if
there.
they're not going to
Like
bring the server
it
browser at
didn't
all. If they don't bring
spawn
it,
again
then the
because
game's
it's
going to
right here.
die.
And the
Simple, because
default
start to
cabinet.
play matchmaking is going to work with 11 damn game modes. It already doesn't work with 9 game modes.
And then
Some
next
matches
thing you
you
see,
already
Nick,
have
he
to
should
wait
have died.
4 minutes when the
Shot.
game already has like
Say,
70,000 concurrent
say
players.
so many
So
terrible things is made. It's
we
like
need the server browser
to
at the
test it
moment.
with
The
is
battle log is
ridiculous.
still
And
up, so
how
you can
when you
still
take a
use it.
break and you come back,
Do
how many different things you.
the
Well, I would.
playbook
It's
that
not.
y'all
Yeah,
did in the
I'm not gonna
past.
say it's
It's not
about
that
to be
hard.
a lot, but you see
So
it way more than you should.
11 game modes is already, you
Terrible.
know, out. So we probably are waiting for
Why
two
are your
game modes,
footsteps so loud?
and we do not know when
You're
those
my
game modes is going
teammate.
to come out. Right? It's not official. This is all just, what is said. Right? And the final thing about the season content is that propaganda from BF4 potentially got leaked for, the next season. And of course, that's a good, way to
I don't know where I'm going.
of obviously put everything out. But I'm assuming, why did they do it in a backwards way instead of like they didn't put propaganda, and and they didn't put propaganda in probably the worst map, Blackwell Fields first, because we can't have no terrible map on the second season. So we have to have a scapegoat map for something, right? Why didn't they put propaganda for our winter time, right? And just put Blackwell Fields in a back end, and then that gets like, disliked and whatnot. And then we obviously have a better map than probably all maps, but that's in the perfect world, of course. So, but propaganda is
Those updates,
probably
yeah,
going to come out
of
in
course.
about, season two. We haven't heard too many news about downtown. You already know what I said about downtown,
Yeah.
and Hardline. A lot of people said downtown maps was Hardline maps was underrated, and I'm actually pretty glad people noticed that. It's a lot of maps that can come from Hardline into this game, because this
Okay.
game
Yeah, of course.
runs
Because
like a
why would they
game
send
that
me
will
here
have
when I
Hardline
got
maps in
one
it.
of them
It doesn't
right
run,
here? The
away like Battlefield
oof,
4 when we can have bigger maps, right?
shot the
Because we have to
killed the
do
person
something
behind
with,
us because his aim was
maps. And the
trash.
only game that has,
Wasn't even by
you know,
like
good, CQC
a
maps is
mistake.
probably Hardline, because
Well, it
that
was by
game is
mistake.
basically a
Good shit. I'm
Call of
glad you
Duty of
said that.
Battlefield. It's basically the Call of Duty of Battlefield, all right? But, since this game is not really Call of Duty in Battlefield 6, it can probably have more flow because it's slower and the maps are, you know, smaller and whatnot. It's not too
I'm
small,
sitting
but
around right now.
medium, medium, small, medium, large, whatnot. But yeah, that's all the content that is basically, addressed and coming out. They said all of these dates would make for a perfect time window: January 27th, 17th, March 10th. Just a reminder, like those dates, yeah. But it sounds like January to the 17th, it doesn't sound that long. But the 17th to the March 10th, it's like, why can't we just go back to the premium type of aspect and just like have maps drop on top, right? And then we have like 29 maps like Battlefield 1, which I forgot that it actually had that many maps, right? Like the
Why?
biggest content
Why
worthy
did a bot
game
have that
that
peak?
has similar movement to
Huh?
BF6, right? And
That
it's
would,
terrible.
yeah,
So
I'm not even gonna
yeah,
say nothing.
that's all I'm gonna say for this video. Hope you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be streaming on Twitch, kicking YouTube. Just know that dice have to work quick, or you know the game will end up how other games end up, and they think it couldn't happen to them. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. And I am out.